Jamie, why are we here?
We're here because my dad's written a porno.
Your dad's written a porno.
Why?
Now, what would you do if your 60-year-old dad handed you a book full of his sordid sexual fantasies?
Her vaginal lids popped open and her labial thickness.
Let's stop that. I mean, I'm no expert on the vagina. Does a vagina have lids?
I have never thought of it as a Tupperware box.
It gets worse.
I'm sorry, can we just stop there for a minute?
Her vaginal lids popped open. Yeah. It's so bad, it's good, right?
Yeah.
I know, bless him.
Well, the guy you're about to meet decided to team up with his best mates Alice and James, and together they read his dad's dirty diary / novel to the entire world.
She sat down again and crossed her long legs. She knew they looked good, but she wanted to keep her private pussy area hidden.
I'm sorry, what?
That's like 3 words for the genitals.
With over 50 million downloads already, My Dad Wrote a Porno has become the world's #1 podcast, and it's bloody hilarious. Jamie,
Hi.
lovely to meet you.
You too, man. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good. I feel a bit weird being in a sex shop. But, you know, this all makes it seem so real. And now I really understand what my dad was writing about. The fact that he was writing porn was, I could kind of deal with that. Why are you sending it to me?
Like, the thought of your parents having sex is one thing, but then your dad sharing his kind of sexual
Don't say fantasy.
fantasies.
Don't say that word. It's not a fair word to use.
But
to the
they
son.
are, well, they're deluded fantasies.
I mean, yeah. They're barely scenarios, to be fair.
Jamie's dad published his erotic novel, Belinda Blinked, under the alias Rocky Flintstone. The book is about a saucy sales exec at a kitchen distribution company who basically fucks her way through the entire business. There's no real plot, just a whole lot of very strange sex adventures. Now, your dad's a bit like the Banksy of porn, right?
Yes,
he doesn't
very
show his
much.
face.
No.
His pictures are always obscured online. It has got me thinking, is this man even real?
Is it real?
Is
Right.
this all something you've created in your weird sex brain?
I would love that. I wish I was that funny, honestly. Like, his writing is so brilliantly, bizarrely bad. I don't think you could write it as a joke. It's too good. You almost wouldn't believe it if it was fake.
Your dad's Twitter
my
account
God.
is super active. But every time he posts a photo, it's him sitting down on a laptop with his back turned to camera. We've never actually seen your dad.
No.
We don't
And
know
you
if
probably
he's
never
real.
will. I mean, but that's his shtick, isn't it? That's his thing. Because I feel like once he revealed himself, all of the enigma would go. And I feel like no one wants to know what Rocky really looks like. They can project who they want Rocky to be.
So this is definitely not something you've just created in your imagination.
100%. I promise. I mean, I honestly wish it was, in some respects. Belinda's breasts plunged to freedom, and her nipples immediately stood up.
50 million downloads worldwide.
Yeah, that is just mad.
What do you reckon draws people to it so much?
It's a good question. I think people are just inherently perverts and love a bit of smut. And I genuinely think that they do. I think because we as a society aren't very upfront about sexuality or sex at all. Whereas because it's a podcast and you just put it in your ears, no one needs to know that you're
And
listening
it's so
to it.
private.
Yeah. And I think the way that we approach the material as well, you want someone to feel like they're the fourth person around the kitchen table. And I think that's why people feel like it's a safe place to experience this utter filth that my dad wrote.
So the thong is about to come off. Oh my God, is this where it gets sexy?
Her shaven pussy was revealed with
Oh, sorry.
Good morning.
Her shaven pussy was revealed with just a delicate runway of dark pubic hair guiding any viewer to the top of her vagina.
Now, I'm told there's a secret, unpublished chapter of Belinda Blinked. Is this true?
There is. Yeah, right at the beginning of this whole thing, my dad just sent me so much crap. Like, random bullet points, like a diagram was one of them.
Of what?
Oh, just, you don't want to know.
I do want to know. What was that diagram?
The diagram, it was of the Steele's Pots and Pans company structure with who'd had sex with who. It was really weird. But he also sent me like just chunks of stories and some chapters that never got into the final books. And so we have taken one of those chapters, we call it the Lost Chapter, and we do it as a live show now.
Jamie, it's not all shits and giggles though, right? I mean, you've had some pretty weird fan mail
Yeah.
where you've actually helped people through like sex problems.
Yeah, we helped, this is bizarre, we helped 2 people lose their virginity.
What?
I know. You'd think it would drive people away from sex, but with
Absolutely.
these 2, it brought it to them.
That's the thing, nothing in the podcast is like overtly, like it doesn't turn you on.
No, it's not sexy
It's
at
not
all.
sexy at
no.
all. It's the antithesis of sexy.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. It's the best birth
freaking
control
hilarious.
in the world. They should have it in schools to stop
So
teenage
what did
pregnancy.
these people tell you when they wrote to you?
They were very careful to say that they didn't lose it to my dad wrote the porno. They weren't listening to it while they were getting down, but they
Thankfully.
yeah, because that would be weird. But no, they said that they were just really intimidated by sex, and they kind of built it up loads in their minds, and then they kind of didn't do it, and then it got bigger and bigger, and then finally listening to the podcast, they realised that sex can be funny and it can be fun, and it doesn't need to be this big kind of scary thing that's on a pedestal, and you just have fun with it.
Jamie, it's lovely to chat to you. Thanks so much for joining us,
Thanks,
mate.
man. Actually, do you know what? Tiny spoiler, which I shouldn't really say.
Ooh, do
But
tell.
Series 3, he's probably been to somewhere like this.
Tell me more about this.
That's all you're getting. That is
Oh,
more
come
than I've
on.
told
You're a
anyone, and I
tease.
probably will not.
What a prick teaser.
I'll get in trouble for even saying that.
What does he do in the sex shop?
I'm not saying anymore. What's this we've got here?